Guys, what's up and welcome back to another edition of Tool Tech Tuesday. Tonight we're going to continue talking about the PrimeWeld Mig180. Last week we unboxed it, we got it set up on a weld cart, got the gas lines hooked up, and we did some MIG welding with it. The results were rather impressive for a 180 amp machine with a 30% duty cycle. What that means is at a 30% duty cycle you're going to have about 10 minutes of work time in there with 3 minutes of welding and 7 minutes of rest time. So we did this pass right here on 1/4 inch, which was far less than the 3 minutes. We probably could have taken burned that all the way across there. We did not have the machine maxed out to weld this 1/4 inch. I don't exactly remember what the settings were. I had to play with it a little bit to get that right sound. As you're setting your MIG welder up, it does give you some guidelines in there on what settings you're going to want to use, and then you can tweak them from there just to have that nice sizzling frying bacon sound. Like I said, this week we're going to continue on. When I did the unboxing of the TIG 225, I did not do any stick welding with it. It does have the capabilities to do stick welding with the TIG 225. But I thought it was rather unique that you could stick weld with a MIG welder. So we're going to set that up. We're going to do some stick welding with it tonight, and we're also going to try out the aluminum spool gun and give it a whirl too. There's some different settings we're going to have to go through to set each individual one of these up. So we'll go through there. We'll show you how to set up the machine, and we'll come back here, test it out, do some welding, and then see how things go. The only aluminum that I have is some 1/8 inch coupons from Weld Metals Online. If you guys have not yet checked these guys out, there is a link in the description for Weld Metals Online. And if you use my coupon code CHAD10, it will save you 10% on your entire purchase anytime you purchase. So let's go ahead and get the machine set up first for some stick welding, and then we'll go ahead and go to the spool gun after that. All right, for setting up your for setting up your MIG welder to be able to do some stick welding, first thing you have to do is you need to unplug your wire feed power control. This right here, this lead controls your wire feed motor. So if it's plugged into the positive side, you're going to be using shielded gas. If it's plugged into the negative side, you're going to be using flux core. So you got to always remember where this needs to go depending upon what type of welding you're going to be doing for the MIG welder. So we're going to go ahead and unplug that. We're going to take our DENS 35 from our stinger and we're going to plug it into the positive side and go ahead and tighten it up. Now with this unplugged, it will no longer turn the wire feed motor because it's not getting signal or it's not getting power to it. So we don't have to worry about that. Now the other thing we need to do is right up here, there's two indicators where it shows MIG welding and it shows stick welding. After we have the machine powered on, you can see right now we're selected at the MIG wire selection. So we want to hit that, put it over to the stick welding. We're going to be testing this at 220 volts. And then this top voltage, it does nothing anymore for stick welding. We're going to go ahead and use this bottom right here. We're going to go just about to 90 amps or so. That's about where we started at, as I remember doing this in high school. It has been a very, very long time since I've done any stick welding, so this ought to be quite interesting. So we're going to start right about 90 amps at 220 volts, and then I picked up some 332nd rod, or some 332nd rods from Harbor Freight, some 6013s because that's what I remember using. What I used the most was 6013, 6011, and then some 7018. So we're going to go ahead and try those out and see how this goes. All right, I changed my hood to a number 11 shade. I'm still going to use a 4-second delay, and we still have a number 2 sensitive as far as the flash on that. For stick welding, you do want to make sure and have just a little bit darker lens because the flash is just a little bit brighter. As far as the stinger on this, it does have a pretty nice tight spring in it, and it does have the multi-angle grooves in there, whether you want it straight or 45, whatever direction you're holding the stinger. All right, here goes nothing. not quite as easy as I remembered. You can see this first side right there. That was really crappy. I was going way too fast. I filled the top, filled the bottom, but did not fill and weld the two pieces together. So we turned it over, we took another pass at it, slowed down quite a bit, and you can see right in there I finally got some good rhythm, and it didn't do just too bad right there. I'm gonna grab another stick and run another pass right through there and see what that looks like. We're gonna put it in straight this time. Last time I had it at 45. Maybe it'll make a difference, who knows. Well, same thing right there. Started out really, really good, and then got towards the, just a little bit halfway through that pass and opened up again and did not feel the center. Got a beat on the top, a beat on the bottom, but I did not feel the center in. So I guess it's not like riding a bicycle. You do forget how to do things. So like I said, it's probably been since high school since I've done any stick welding at all. So I guess I'm pretty happy that I was even able to make those two good passes right there. So, and this is a pretty thin rod for 1/4 inch material. Probably should bump the rod size up if you wanted to weld something this thick. Just thinking. Yeah, so anyway, we're gonna go ahead and go back over to the machine. We're gonna get it set up for a spool gun, and we're gonna give it a shot and see how that works out. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and set the machine up for the spool gun. So what you're gonna have to do is we're gonna go ahead and pull this wire lead, the stinger out for the stick welding. We'll go ahead and put our signal wire or our power wire back in for the drive roller, and then it will run the wire speed right there. We're going to want to move that back over to MIG capabilities once we do have the machine fired up. We're going to move it to the side. We're going to pull our wire. We're going to cut our wire off the end of the MIG gun. We're going to pull it back through all the way through the lead and the stinger, just so you don't waste it. If you cut it off inside the machine and pull it out, you're wasting probably 8-10 foot of wire. So we're going to go ahead, we'll cut the ball end off where you welded last, and then you should be able to pull that back through your gun or take your tip off. That way you can pull that back through and not waste 8-10 foot of wire. So we're going to go ahead and get that done. We're going to go ahead and put the spool gun inside there, and then we're going to go ahead and try that out. All right, just to save time, I already have mine cut and pulled back through. Inside here there is a switch. We're going to switch that over to spool gun like that, and then we're going to unloosen the set screw or the wing nut, and we're going to pull our lead out, and then also unplug our signal wire, and then we can go ahead and put our spool gun in there, plug in our signal wire, and then we won't need anything back here because the wire is so soft. All of your wire is held in the spool gun itself because the aluminum wire is too soft to be able to sit the spool on here and push all the way through a liner. So we have that switched over, and we also have to switch our gas over to the 100% argon also. That's what I was talking about right there. It's just a blunt end. The only thing that this is makes a connection for your arc, and then you still have to have your gas flow going through. All right, with everything hooked up, we're gonna go ahead and see if I can embarrass myself with the spool gun too. Got everything dialed in. I don't know if it's dialed in or not, but first time we've used it. So we're gonna go ahead, we've already got the wire fed through. Right here is your spool. And then it just runs from here through the drive wheels inside here and then right up the gun. So we're gonna go ahead and tack this piece and see how this works. All right, after a few adjustments on settings, I don't think that just did too bad of a job, really. I started melting through on the backside just a little bit. You can see that right there. One thing that I did learn by watching some videos is if you go in the direction that you're welding, your gas is coming out and actually shielding, and you don't get all of that black oxide on there that you see in some welders. So I'm going to turn it over, try and run a bead on the backside there and see how it goes. Well, we started out with that right there, trying to get some settings set up. And then we're finishing up with that right there. So I don't think that's just too damn bad. Like I said, move your gun in the direction that you're going and keep that gas flow, cleaning everything up. All right, my thoughts at running a spool gun or running a stick welder with a MIG welder. Really, I think it's pretty damn cool. I'm gonna take some getting used to, as far as not getting used to, just take some practice getting back into swinging things with the stick welder. It's not like a bicycle, you do forget. So yeah, it's really, like I said, it started out okay, and then just did not, I don't, travel speed probably is a big factor right there, and also probably electrode thickness would be my guess is a big factor there. But I was able to pick it up there, and not so much there. And then, like I said, we got some MIG welding right here on this end. It is a phenomenal MIG welder, and it just does not do too bad at stick welding too, if you know what you're doing. As far as, yep, it's cool. As far as the spool gun right here, pretty impressed with the spool gun. I have never used one of these before. Took it just a little bit to get the settings right. You can see right there, had some boogers starting out right there, but after we got the settings just right, it started flowing good. And it really, quite impressive for welding aluminum if you don't have a TIG welder and you have the ability to set your MIG welder up for a spool gun. So, you guys get a chance, check out PrimeWeld. Links are in the description, whether it be their website or their Amazon store. Both of them are in the description. And also Weld Metals. You can use my coupon code at Weld Metals. It's CHAD10, 10% off. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have this week. So if you don't mind, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not already done so, and we'll see you guys in the next one.